That's our country now. Just a bunch of illegals just rolling in on the beach, taking off into California, disappearing into the ether. Joining me now, an assemblyman from California, Bill Essayli. Bill, honestly, Texas, we obviously have to deal with quite a bit of illegal immigration, but I'm not sure enough people really understand how much California is the epicenter of it. They're coming across the border. They're coming in through the oceans. You guys just drowning in these daggone people.
Yeah, especially now that Texas is going to be enforcing its own borders because the Supreme Court allowed that to go forward. It's like water. They're gonna take the path of least resistance. So now that's going to be California. And absolutely right. California not only has a land border connection with Mexico, but we also have the ocean. And we are having, even in Newport Beach in Orange County, a very affluent community, they just had last week a boat show up with a bunch of illegal immigrants on it. They just jump out and run. And who's going to stop them? So that's what's going on right now in California. That is an everyday thing.
For people who don't understand it, how welcoming is the beautiful state of California to all these illegals?
Well, we're very welcoming and we're very generous, especially with our tax-paying dollars. So the state of California, beginning this year, 2024, California now offers free universal health care to all illegal immigrants, regardless of age and regardless of when you show up. So you can literally sign up for Medi-Cal as an illegal immigrant. And I asked the governor's people about this because we're having budget challenges in the state of California. And they said we're expected to spend $4 billion on this new program. They expect to add 700,000 new illegal immigrants into Medi-Cal. Never mind whether the system can handle 700,000 new patients or not. And my question is there a limit on how many people can sign up? Because I said, what you're doing now is you're creating a giant magnet for every illegal immigrant in every state to come over to California because we're just rolling out the red carpet. And they said, no, there's no limit on how many people can sign up. And that's just healthcare. And then we give out food stamps. We're now giving down payment assistance for home buyers. The list goes on. In-state tuition in our colleges, you name it, they get it.
So clear this up for me. A government program that claims it's going to spend $4 billion, so everyone knows that means it'll spend about $20 billion. I'm assuming that means that healthcare in California is super affordable for Californians and American citizens. Is that the case?
I wish it were the case. I mean, that's what they promised us after Obamacare. But no, I talk to people every day and they're spending, especially if they have a family and they're a business owner, they're spending a couple $1,000s a month just on healthcare. I know when I had my firm, I was spending, I think $500-600 a month just on my individual healthcare. So it is not cheap in California. And then the other piece of this that people don't really talk about is setting aside the cost. What is the quality or the access to healthcare in California? It is becoming harder and harder to find a doctor that has availability to take you. God forbid you need some specialist. They're booked out for months ahead of time. And the doctors don't want to work in California because the reimbursement rate on Medi-Cal is so low that they're getting paid pennies on the dollar for what they should be. And it's driving doctors out of the state. So not only is it an affordability issue, but we have a quality healthcare issue and access to care. And the hospitals are very worried that they're going to be driven into bankruptcy because California continues to do things like pass minimum wage laws. So last year they passed a law that healthcare facilities have to pay $25 minimum wage. $25. That's the lowest entry position. So everything above that has to go up as well. They're systematically trying to bankrupt the hospitals, and I do believe it might be by design so they can have the government come in and take them over.
Of course it would be. Could you explain what this bill is you have about illegal alien pedophiles who apparently can reside in California worry-free?
So California has been a sanctuary state for quite some time now. We had SB 54 passed, which basically made it illegal for law enforcement to cooperate with ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. We've seen many cases in which serious, violent, criminal, illegal aliens have been set free rather than handing them over to ICE. But last month, we had a really egregious example. We had an individual who had been released from San Bernardino County Jail. He'd been convicted of raping a minor. And he was released into the streets after he completed his prison sentence. He was found later in the state of Massachusetts, picked up by ICE for purposes of deportation. So this really caused a huge outcry and an outrage, as it should be, and why we'd release a pedophile into the community. So I'm introducing my bill, which is AB 2641, and this would repeal sanctuary state for anyone convicted of a sex crime against a minor. The question I get is, why just those crimes? Well, of course, I want to repeal it for all crimes, but let's at least start with this and have Democrats explain to the public why they believe pedophiles should be protected from deportation in the state of California. So that's the bill I've introduced, and I want the Democrats to vote on it and to take a position on which side they're on.
Well, Bill, I'm assuming your phone's been blowing up with Democrats who wholeheartedly and publicly support your desire to deport illegal alien pedophiles, right?
It's funny actually on social media, we actually do get support from some Democrat voters. But as far as the elected officials, absolutely not. In fact, the chair of this committee has refused to even hold a hearing on my bill. So we'll look at some alternative ways to force a vote on this. But the Democrat Party is all in on protecting criminal illegal aliens rather than victims or children in the state of California. I don't understand what goes through their mind. They have a duty to protect the public, a duty to protect children. I mean, as a prosecutor, there is no more heart-wrenching story or case than a crime that involves a child, because they're truly innocent. So why the Democrat Party keeps doubling down on this is just, it really tells you about who these people are and what their agenda is for this country.